So, Mr. De Souza, since you are managing Best Western Asia and Middle East from your offices here in Thailand, I would like to ask you what trends do you see in the hospitality industry in Thailand, having in mind that it's a very important incoming destination in Asia, but it's also a delicate destination for several reasons. And also at the same time I would like to ask about the trends in the Asia and Middle East generally. If we consider that for a long time now there is a big recession in Europe and in USA, and maybe the only developing region is Asia nowadays.
Okay. Best Western currently has 14 properties operating in Thailand, and we want to increase that portfolio to about 25 by the end of next year. We're fortunate that we have smaller hotels. Our average in terms of number of rooms is between 75 to about 150. The current situation in Thailand is, even though arrivals have increased, the supply has outweighed the number of arrivals. So occupancies, even though the occupancies have increased, average rates have declined. And this is throughout the whole industry. I think it will continue because there are a lot more hotels being built. Even though the infrastructure, I would say, it's a mature market. Thailand is a very mature market. There are certain concerns I think we have as a company here. One is we hope there will be a stable political situation because security is very important to customers that travel to the country. We believe that the country needs a second airport because it's already congested. We believe that security, as I mentioned, is important, but I believe that the tourism industry as a whole is aggressive, but I think there are certain refinements we want to make when we talk about the destination. As a destination, it sells by itself. But I think that the government can only make the big difference, I think, of what happens in the tourism industry over the next 5 to 10 years. We've been through some challenges, I think, with instability in the political situation, with demonstrations. We've also had challenges with the floods. I think these are the things that really will affect the industry. And if we look overall, with our hotels currently, even though our occupancies have increased by 10 to 15%, our yields have dropped to like almost 20%. So as an investor, it's not very stable today if you want to invest. But as a return on investment, there's huge return on investment because why? The market is very mature. And as I said, the country sells by itself. There's a lot of demand, I think, from Asia, for Thailand. There's a lot of demand from Europe, but less because of the economic problems that we have in Europe. The business has gone down, except for Russia and certain Eastern Bloc countries. The others are more or less have dropped compared to what they were before. So this is what we see a concern for us as a brand. Because owners look at a return on investment on their property between 5 to 8 years they want a return because they have debt service. And usually owners want the hotel to pay for their loans in the bank. That's what it's all about. So my concern is, one, the number of rooms increasing tremendously. But at the same time, the demand is not as strong as it was before. So the yields will drop, the occupancy will go up. The competitiveness is very aggressive from what it was compared a few years ago. And it'll continue to get aggressive. But as I mentioned, since we have smaller hotels, it's easier for us to fill in those rooms than the bigger ones. So that's where we are in terms of the environment. If you look at Asia and the Middle East, I think in the Middle East, there's huge demand. You know, we're building hotels currently in Iraq. We're building hotels in the Saudi region. And those are mature markets. And those hotels are big compared to what we have in other parts of Asia, I would say. We look to 300 to 500 rooms when we build hotels there with more restaurants. But the infrastructure is there, and I think we see tremendous growth in the Saudi. We are focusing a lot because there's a huge surplus of money, disposable income there. They want to build hotels. So overall, I think if you look at the environment, it's changing. In certain countries, the business is going down because there's an oversupply. In Singapore, there's a shortage of rooms. In certain countries in the Middle East, there is a shortage of rooms. And there's a shortage of rooms today in Dhaka. You can't get a room in Dhaka for less than $500. And Bahrain, of course, there's a huge demand, but with the political situation, business now has deteriorated. Dubai is starting to pick up again from where it was after the economic recession that they went through. As a hotel company, we're focusing a lot also in Iraq. We're building 2 hotels in Iraq, in Erbil and Kurdistan, where there's a huge shortage of rooms again. And we look at turning around these properties, return on investment within 3 years, running an occupancy of about 98% with average rates of about $400 US. So in general, the Asian environment, I would say, very strong overall. And developers will continue to develop hotels. Hotels is a good return on investment. It's a long-term investment, long-term return, but a steady, because people will always travel. And there will always be airlines that will carry people. And what helps also is the low-cost carriers are bringing new business to destinations. So that's the way we look at it.